And I'm going to take a minute here to introduce our presenters tonight. And you know, they're pretty darned impressive folks. And let me tell you a few reasons why. They have held their rank for the last 10 consecutive years at the top of the company. They have earned over $7 million in this company while they've been here. You can do the math on that one. Okay. They are the top leaders. They are the top earners in our company. They are a husband and wife team with, my gosh, they're also personal friends of mine too. So without further ado, Michael, Jude, Christa IAMAC, come on up.
Well, thanks, Scott. Thanks for the warm introduction. Thank all of you. Thanks for coming out tonight. If you don't know much about what we're doing, we're going to tell you a little bit about what we do, how we do it, what some of the rewards are. And at the end of the presentation, you'll be in one of three places probably. You'll either be going, you know, this is great, nice way to spend a Saturday night, but not for me. And that's fine. We appreciate you taking the time to look. You may also be in a place of saying, wow, these products sound great. I could have more energy, more vitality, my brain could function better, my immune system could function better, I might even lose a little weight if that's what you're up for, and I can feel at my peak. Wow, I want that for myself and my family, and we say thank you. Thanks for taking a look. We'll help you get those results that you want. As a matter of fact, we'll even help you get a personal wellness coach that will help you maximize your investment. Another place you might be, though, is a third place. And that is that you say, wow, these products sound great. I really want that for myself, but this business sounds even better. I definitely want that. I want financial freedom. In other words, I don't want to have to worry about where my money comes from. I want plenty of it, and I want it in a steady stream. I want location freedom. I want to be able to live anywhere in the world that I want without being near the city center if I don't want to be there, or being near my job. And I want time freedom, especially because I can always make more money, but I can't make more time. So you'll probably be in one of those three places at the end. And we'll give you a chance to choose for yourself. We're not going to give you a lot of hype here. We're not going to give you any pressure. This is really just an educational forum for you to look at what's available.
So when Michael and I were first looking at this opportunity, we made a very personal and conscious decision that we did not want to spend the rest of our life being tied to a job, being tied to somebody else's idea of what our life should be. And we went looking for an opportunity that we could take control of our own life, we could make our own decisions, and something that also would be of tremendous service to the rest of humanity, basically. And it took a long time for us to find this. It took 1.5 years of constant looking before we found this company and this opportunity. And we were so committed to doing that, that we actually spent most of our time looking. We had little part-time jobs in between to keep us going. But by the time we got here, we actually ended up being $52,000 in credit card debt because we've been living on credit cards, finding like it's going to come, we're going to find it, it's just around the corner. And interestingly, it was almost at the point where we were about to give up that somebody told us about this. And we spent 3 months looking into this to make sure this is what we want to do. Is this aligned with what we believe in? Is this really what we've been looking for? And we finally went, yeah, this is it. And 2 years later, I think, we had completely cleared that debt and we were making a 6-figure income. It was amazing. We have a life now I could not have imagined 15 years ago. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, we get to travel as much or as little as we want. We have beautiful homes in different countries where we can spend the summer there and the summer here, so it's sort of endless summer.
I don't like winter.
And we get to work with people that we really respect and love and appreciate. People that are our friends. And I mean, I don't think it gets much better than that. Have success, but be successful with people we like, doing work we love, and making a real difference in the world. You know, at night when I go to bed, I can lay my head on the pillow and go, you know, I've helped a lot of people today. I've helped them get financially closer to their dreams, or I've helped them get closer to their health dreams. And I don't know that I've always been able to say that in my life. I've done work that I did for the money. I didn't believe in it. I didn't even enjoy it. And sometimes I was good and sometimes I wasn't that good at it. But with this, it's kind of a place where everything in my life came together. All my background, all my experiences, all the gifts, and the, you know, everything came together here. And I've seen that again and again and again for other people, not just for us. This is a place where you can bring your life experience and your passion and your dreams and do it your way. You can do it your way. See, that's the thing. I'm not a cookie cutter kind of guy. I'd go nuts working for somebody else. So this is where you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Because should you decide to do this, you've got a whole team of people, including us, working in your business for you. For no charge.
I love that. I love the whole concept, because oftentimes what happens is that people have a great idea, or somebody actually has the guts to get out there and go, I'm going to try this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to open a bicycle store, or I'm going to whatever people want to do, so that they've got some kind of control over their own life. But usually what happens is they do it all, right? It's their time, it's their money, it's their resources. They either fail or they don't, but they're in it by themselves. Here is completely different. Here, we work together as a community, as a team. And the way this works is each person has to be successful for everybody else to be successful. It's this extraordinary paradigm. Completely the opposite to what we're used to, which is the competitive, what we call the competitive business model, where if I open a store down there and this guy opens one up here, we're in competition, right? Not here. Completely the opposite. If I decide to do this and he decides to do this, we get doubly successful. I'm only successful if I help him be successful. I mean, it's an amazing, amazing paradigm.
Let's talk a little bit about what this is, the nuts and bolts of it. So this is called network marketing, and it's a new industry on the planet. It's only been around about maybe 50 years or so, but it's one of the bigger industries on the planet. We turn over $150 billion every year as an industry. Now, I could name a bunch of companies. As a matter of fact, I will. Google, Ford Motor Company, General Motors, IBM, Geico. Everybody thinks those are big companies, right? They are. But they don't approach what we turn over a year. We're bigger than that. This is not a small thing. There's almost 100 million people worldwide working in our industry. It's a big deal. And it's even a bigger deal when you look ahead. Now, here's the thing. How many of you, my dad, who I love very much, gave me some advice when I was young. He said, son, look, here's the path to success. Go to school, get an education, find a good, solid company and work for them for 40 years, and then they'll retire you. Now, how many of you really believe that that's a recipe for success today? No offense to my dad. That isn't going to work. That's an old strategy from an old time when he grew up. But if you look around today, it's a whole different world, isn't it? Companies are out of business. Countries are in danger. Entire economies are collapsing. Industries are disappearing, never to work in again. That strategy of get an education and get a job leaves most people strapped with debt, out of luck and out of work. That's definitely not a recipe for success for most of us. What is a recipe for success? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that we are in a world of transition right now. Our world is changing. It's not like it used to be. Every year, something changes, and it's speeding up. That change is speeding up. So, you know, I mean, the world you guys live in, completely different to the world we lived in when we were your age. Completely different. Can't even see anything the same out there hardly. And, you know, in 10 years' time, it's going to be completely different again. It's changing that fast. And so one of the things that's so awesome about what we've got here is that we get to fit into that. We get to completely rise above all that change and create the world we want to create. Because it's changing. What do we want it to be? We actually have the ability to create it how we want it. And that's what we can do here, and that's what we can do together.
Let me give you an example of how this economy is changing and how your options are changing. And any time there's a big change like this, there's winners and there's losers. And a lot of people will be losers. And it's not because they're bad people. It's because they don't have the right information. They don't see what's going on, and they don't have access to strategies that will make them winners. Let me give you an example. There's a lot of companies going out of business, old companies. Old line companies been profitable for years and years and years, and they're going away. They're just disappearing because technology's changed things, right? Not only are they going away, but the people who had that strategy of work for them for a while and then retire, their retirement's going away. So that's not a pretty picture. But let me give you an example of what is coming. Now, some of you will know the answer, but name for me a company that didn't even exist 10 or 15 years ago. They turn over gazillions of dollars. The owners are under 40, and they're multi-billionaires. And they don't manufacture anything. They don't grow anything. They don't service anything. As a matter of fact, all they do is give away stuff for free, stuff we love, we use every day. What's that company? Anybody? Facebook, Google. This is the new economy, guys. This is the strategy for success. Now, probably every one of us in some secret heart desires, well, I wish I could be like that. And those guys were at the right place in the right time. They were lucky and skilled. But for most of us, that is a vision, but it's not a strategy. Start another Facebook? Yeah, good luck. But what is a valuable strategy is called network marketing. And here's why. Because we employ the same dynamics, and we have the same vehicle that they have. What do we do in network marketing? Do we grow anything? No. Do we make anything? No. Do we service anything? No. What do we do? Well, we give away stuff for free. And we get rich doing it. That's the new economy. If my dad had told me 20 years ago, if he said, son, you give away stuff for free and you'll be rich, I would have thought, oy, I don't think so. But today, that's how you get rich. You give away valuable stuff for free. Now, Facebook and Google gives away information, other people's information for free. It's there for you, for free. What do? We give away information and we give away product samples. Valuable stuff. We give away information like tonight. How valuable is it for you to just even get this one piece about there's a strategy for going forward that can make you independently wealthy? Is that worth something? Yeah, absolutely. Just that little bit. But wouldn't it be even more important and more valuable if you could find out how you can have radiant health, location freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, freedom to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, if you want? That's extremely valuable information.
One of the things that's so amazing to me, still, after all this time, we spend a lot of time on the other side of the planet. I'm from Australia and New Zealand, and we have family and a lot of friends over there, and also business partners as well. So we spend quite a bit of time lying on the beaches of Australia and walking around the mountains in New Zealand. And every single minute I spend lying on the beach, walking in the mountains, doing what I do, I am getting paid. And I get paid really well for lying on the beach. It's the most extraordinary paradigm. To create something like this that is ongoing, no matter what you choose to do or where you choose to be, the money keeps coming. That's how we can help people create a life of their dreams. I mean, it's a cliche, but here it's real. We do it every day. So what is it that you want to do? I mean, if you didn't have a job, what would you really, really love to do? Because you can do it here. You can have it here. And all of us have those dreams. But for most of us, they're just like good ideas, great fantasies. They're never based in any kind of reality. We want to bring them down to earth here. And we have helped thousands of people get that kind of life.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what we actually do day to day, because by now, hopefully you're thinking, well, this sounds pretty good, but what do I got to do, right? Anybody asking that? Yeah, what do I got to do? Well, let me describe how it works. Let's say that I just meet Christa for the first time, or she's an old friend. It doesn't matter. I say, hey, Christa, how's it been?
Great.
Yeah?
Yeah, I haven't seen
Yeah.
you forever.
Wow, well, I'm doing really well. How about you?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know, I was just thinking of you the other day, and I remember the last conversation we had, and you said you were kind of bored with your job, you wanted more money, and you just were over that. Is that still true for you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Well, you know, I've got something, now this may not be for you, and that's okay, but I've got something I think you might be interested in. I've done real well with it. It's working for me.
Oh, yeah? What is it?
Well, look, here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to give you a little online video, you know, just a link. You could look at it and kind of explain all about it. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, and like I say, it may not be for you, and that's okay, but I can give you that information. As a matter of fact, I've got a sample of the product I use in my business. I'd love to give that to you too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's cool, it's good stuff.
Okay.
Now look, I treat these like gold, because they're like gold to me. And I'd like to just ask for 3 things from you for giving you this, but none of which involve money, okay? So number 1, don't throw it away. Just use it. Just use it as directed. Put it in the fridge and drink it in the morning. Is that cool? You can do that?
I guess, depending
Okay.
on what it is.
Well, you can read the label. It's aloe vera and sea veggies. It's really good stuff.
Sounds
Works
good.
for me. I got more energy, losing weight. My brain functioned better. I haven't had a cold in, gosh, going on 8 or 9 years now.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, my immune system's really good.
Okay.
Yep, that's good. Number 2, I'd like you to look at the video I'm going to send you. I mean, I know you're busy.
Oh, yeah.
You're like
I
me,
can
you got
do
a
that.
lot of email, but just you'll look at it? Okay,
Sure.
cool. Number 3 is I'd just like to call you in a couple days and see what you think.
Okay.
Does that work?
That's easy.
Great. Now look, what I'd like to do is just set a time. What works better for you? Tuesday at 7 or 8? Is that a good time?
Yeah, 8 o'clock's good.
Okay, I'll call you at 8.
Okay.
Okay, good. That's what I do. That's as hard as it gets, guys. Now I'm going to call her up and see if she wants to do something great, and if she doesn't, great. Let me ask you a question. You don't have to answer me, but can you do what I just did in your own language, in your own way, with people you either meet or people you know? Because if you can do that, it can be that simple.
And once you understand what it is you're offering people, it's not only simple, it's exciting. Because what we do, I mean, it sounds like, oh yeah, we're offering this thing, have a look. What we're offering people is their life. I mean, truly. What we're offering is something really extraordinary. And once we get that, it becomes even easier.
Yeah, so that's it. That's the model. Now, I want to show you what happens afterward. Let's say that Christa enjoys the product that I've given her a gift of, and she wants it. Now, the cool thing is, I've recommended lots of stuff to lots of friends. Thai food, CDs, DVDs, movies, all kinds of stuff. But I've never even gotten a thank you, much less anything free from the manufacturers for that. That just doesn't happen, right? I don't expect it, I don't get it. But in this case, if she wants the product, she wants Body Balance, I say, hey, Christa, get it like I do. Order it from the factory. Tell them I sent you. Well, she does. The factory sends her a product. They deal with her money and her product and all that. I don't touch any of that. But then they send me a little thank you check. They say, you know what? We didn't have to advertise. We didn't have to store it. We didn't have to stock it. All this stuff. Here's a thank you check. I go, well, this is pretty cool. This is great. And every month, at the end of the bottle, she says if she likes it, she's going to say, well, I want some more. She gets more. I get another thank you check. She wants more. I get another thank you check. I go, this is pretty good. But it gets even better because if she recommends it to one of her friends, she gets a thank you check for that, and I also get a thank you check for that other person. And if that person recommends it to another friend, she gets a thank you check, and I get a thank you check on that other person. Now you can see how we build networks, big networks of people that could potentially go around the globe. And here's a revelation I had. Because when we started, Christa told you our circumstances. We had a lot of debt. We had these funky little jobs. We had no way on this earth we were going to pay that debt back. Every month we were kind of getting behind more. There was no way we were going to pay it back. So we started getting these little checks, and they turned into bigger checks and bigger checks and bigger checks. But one night, I just sat up in bed, and I said, you know what? I just really got it. I got it. Because people will take this stuff, and when they start losing weight, maybe some old diseases clear up, they're feeling better, performing better, they say, wow, this cleared up. I've had asthma for 10 years. It's gone. I'll take this the rest of my life. It's that good. Well, I feel good because I helped somebody get rid of a problem they had, and they like it long enough to, good enough to take it the rest of their life. That's a pretty good deal. But when I got what that means for me financially, I got very excited, because what it means is I have an income the rest of her life. You get that? I have an income the rest of her life. And her friend's life, and her friend's life, and his friend's life. I have an income for their life. Now, when I got that, I started to think, oh, where do I want to live? What do I want to do? Because I'm done. I'm done financially. I never have to work another day the rest of my life.
In fact, we had a young guy in our organization who retired at 23. And he retired making about $30,000 a month.
Yeah, his idea, he was on tour with his favorite rock bands. That was his deal.
Yep.
So, you know, there you go. What do you want to do with the rest of your life? Folks, it's all here. There's no secrets. You now know what we do. You know how we do it. You know how big it is in the world. It's all there for you. But all that business doesn't mean much unless the product is sound. There's a hook. If she doesn't say, I'll use it the rest of my life, we could keep doing it. We could keep bringing people in, and that'll work too, by the way. But if you want long-term financial security, if you want that thing to just go for years and decades and beyond your lifetime, the product's got to be good, right? Make sense?
Absolutely.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the product.
Okay. So one of the things that I have discovered is that there are levels of health I didn't even know existed. I've been using this product 15 years. My background is as a healthcare professional, so I was kind of pretty healthy when we started. I thought I was. I had my issues like everybody else, but I thought I was pretty healthy. I had no idea. The level of health I have now is so far beyond where I was 15 years ago. Like I said, I could not have even imagined it back then. And I mean, I feel so vibrant, so alive. Every year, I feel better than I felt the year before. I've just had my 60th birthday, and I feel like better than I was when I was 20, and I am not kidding you. Every year, I feel more amazing than I did the year before, and I would not be without this product. It starts my day every single morning. And we've helped thousands of people. We have so many people who, even without the money, even without the business, they use this product and they would not be without it. And that is the basis of a solid business.
Matter of fact, you know, there's lots of people here who have pretty amazing stories, probably more amazing than mine. So, are there a couple people that we could invite up to share? Jim? Yeah.
Oh, great.
Hi, my name is Jim Folkstead. Been on the product about 8 years. Oops, let me get in the middle of the camera, I guess. For the most of my adult life, I suffered from hypoglycemia, which is your blood sugar drops. Until I met my wife, and first thing she did was, here, drink this. And so I've been on the product since then. And no issues. My blood sugar is balanced every day. I take Body Balance every day. And it's wonderful. And now I have the joy of, beta testing a new product the company's working on. Helps us you lose weight, 7-8 pounds, 7-8 days. One belt notch. I'm happy. It's good. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Somebody else? Do we have somebody else? Jeanette. Yeah, thank you. You have to tell them how old you are.
Oh, okay. My name is Jeanette Nocera. I'm 76. I feel younger every day, just like Christa said. I started out very conscious of my health, but when I hit 72, I had a huge wake-up call. I had a blocked up colon. And I got sick. I gained about 25 pounds of toxic waste, and I had sinus infections and all that Rasmus has. And found out that I had my lung capacity was at 60%. I was a pretty sick gal, and very afraid because a lot of my classmates I discovered had the same problems, my high school classmates. One went to the doctor and had their colon removed. That could have been me. Some of them are still walking around with oxygen tanks. That could have been me. And I keep thinking how wonderful it is that I chose a healthier way of taking care of my life, and it's serving me well because I feel much, much younger too. I have the energy. I could never keep up with these people if I didn't, and it's really been a fantastic process for me. But I want also to take a few minutes to thank the training around here. Free training from top people. I started out hiding from people. I was so shy, I could not get out of a corner. I could not get up here. I couldn't tell my testimony without crying. Everybody knows that. But internally, I have grown 12 foot tall. And it's because of these fine people, the support they give you. It's not a lie. They support you. They want you to be successful just as much as you want to be successful. And I want to thank them very much.
I can actually tell my story. It's a little bit different. I didn't have any major medical conditions, although we have a whole website of people who've had major medical conditions, and they've voluntarily just written in and said, this cleared up for me. Big stuff. Stuff you'd recognize. The epidemics, like hypoglycemia, like Scott, but also fibromyalgia, chronic diabetes, and on and on and on. This whole laundry list of stuff that's just devastating our population. But my thing was that I was the kind of guy who couldn't get up in the morning. I needed caffeine. I needed coffee or sugar or something to get going. And that was pretty consistent up until about 10 o'clock, and then I'd start to kind of wake up even with that stuff. And I thought, well, that's how everybody is. Everybody's drinking coffee or cola or something. But it wasn't true. Not everybody was. I was. And I had the typical experience, get jacked up and then crash, and then get jacked up and crash, and hit the wall in the afternoon and crash, and then by the evening, I was done. I was just done. Toast. Well, I came across the body balance like Christa, and first thing I noticed was the very next day, and that's unusual. For most people, it takes a couple of weeks because it's a food, not a drug. But the next day, I got up and I was, wow, I feel alert. There's no brain fog. I'm ready to go. And I thought, well, I'm just having a great day. Isn't this wonderful? Went through the day, didn't need all the stimulants, and in the evening, I actually had energy left over to be alive in the evening. I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. I could get used to this, but I wasn't holding my breath that it might happen that way. Well, second day, third day, fourth day, it just kept doing the same thing. And I was able to give up the coffee, give up the sugar, and have more energy than I had before. And I found more hours in my day because I had a full evening to do stuff. I was alive, alert. I noticed that I had a reason to notice. If I'd cut myself, it'd take 14 days to heal over and, scab and look normal. It takes 8 days now. 8 days. Now, guys, I don't know about you, but when I look out there and I see these epidemics of diseases and pandemics and all this stuff going on, there's no way we can avoid it, right? People are flying all over the place, all over the planet, and just too busy. The only thing we can do really is keep our immune systems strong. Because this stuff's out there. Keep our immune system strong. My immune system is operating at top performance. I've been using the product now for 15 years. I've had maybe 2 colds. But what you got to know about that is I was the cold magnet. I would avoid people that were sick. Because if there was a cold in the room, I just said, okay, I'm going to be out for a week. I know I'm going to get it, and I'm just resigned that I'm going to get it. I was run down. And I would get 2 or 3 colds every season, no more. You may not have the same experience that I had, but you'll have your own experience. The trick is get the stuff in your body. Get the body balance in your body and let your body do the work to heal itself. It's important. A friend of mine says it's not what you feel today, although you're going to feel pretty good. It's what you won't feel in 10 or 20 years. That's important too.
Yeah, one of the things that I love about this is quality of life. Michael and I have love hiking. We're very active outdoors. We cycle. We do lots of things like that. And I don't want to not be able to do that because something's wrong with my body. You know, we have top athletes using this stuff who would not be without it because it raises their performance to here. So it is just something that I believe pretty much every single human being on the planet needs in their body. And if that's not a recipe for success, my goodness, how many things can you say that about? If you were to build a business with something that just about every single person on the planet needs, I mean, my goodness, that's a pretty extraordinary recipe for success, right?
Well, and speaking of success, let's talk about the business success that we've had and maybe invite some people to share their success.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mentioned earlier that, and we were introduced very generously about our income. It's extraordinary. Our life is so different. Having that kind of money come whether we're working or not, whether we're traveling, whether we're at home, whether we're doing nothing, it's extraordinary. It's given us choices in our life we never had before. Couldn't even imagine some of the choices. I've always been interested and passionate about giving to charity and contribution. We now are able to give away more money than most people make in a year. That's a privilege. It's wonderful. We have opportunities to help people in all kinds of ways that just before, somebody told me once, they said, if you have an empty plate, you're a burden on the community. If you have a full plate, you can feed many people. So you can take that any way you want. But I know, I've been poor and I've been rich. I know which one I prefer. So you guys can choose for yourself. What difference has it made for you in your life?
Oh my goodness, amazing difference. Choices, number one, like Michael said. I mean, I have the ability to choose literally whatever I want in my life right now. And I also don't get to choose just for myself. I get to choose for my family. I get to choose for people that I want to reach out and say, let me do that for you. Let me help you. Let me support you. I believe in what you're doing. I want to support that. And here's a way that I can do that. I never used to be able to do that. I mean, I had lots of ideas. There were a lot of things that people did that I thought were amazing, but I couldn't do much about it. I mean, maybe volunteer if I could get some time off work. But I can make a huge contribution now. And to my family, I said that we spend a good part of the year down under, as they say. And for my mother, that is an amazing thing. She gets to see me. We get to spend time together. I just paid for her and my sister and my brother-in-law to come over here for a month. And I mean, there's no way I could have been able to do that. That kind of thing was just a dream for my mother that had no basis in reality. So it's such a joy. It really is. It's extraordinary.
So we have a few people who might want to share your business story. Would you please come up and introduce yourself and tell folks what's up for you?
Hello, my name's Carol Papini, and wow, I haven't been in the business for very long. Yes, you see me. In this business anyway, but I have been in network marketing for 30 plus years, and when my friend Lori said, here, try this, and I'm like, okay, I'll try that, but I'm not going to do the business. And so it was really because, not that I didn't like the business model, it was just called burnout. And when she sat down and I said, okay, well, show me the plan, what is this? And she showed it to me and I was like, are you kidding me? No. Because I've been in so many of them that they do not even come close to what we have here. And it is phenomenal where our company is today, especially with the new products that are coming out, with the weight loss program, and now introducing this to people. Before I was sharing, just the product and saying how great it is and what it could do for you. But now I'm like, our business is our best product right now because of what we're going into. I mean, this sweet spot that where we're at, I talk to people now and I'm like, okay, here's the deal. Do you want to come in now before, just like Google or Facebook made it big? You might want to think about that instead of later. So it's just so exciting. I can't even tell you how excited I am about this company, and working with these guys are very supportive and very helpful. So I'm excited. Thanks.
Great.
Hi, my name is Cindy Lapp, and I've been involved with LifeForce for, well, it's going to be almost 6 years at the end of December. And what I did before was I had an antique shop, and I had a restaurant, and I had a women's boutique. So I was thick into retail, and I was working about 60 to 70 hours a week. And I did that for, well, I had the antique shop for 23 years. And it was really fun until it all of a sudden became not fun. And one reason that it became not fun is because the economy started to tank, and we could see it before most people could. And you know, what our life was like is that we had no time working that many hours to be with our children, to go on trips. You know, Michael and Christa mentioned, you know, to have your own business was like, you know, the American dream. Well, it is if you're willing to be a slave to that business. And we were the slaves to 3 businesses. So things just got more bleak, and we lost just about everything. Almost lost our home. We ended up in a short sale, declared bankruptcy. We're turning 50. We had sunk our entire 401k into saving those businesses. So like I said, we were turning 50, and we were faced with, oh my gosh, we have no businesses and we can't retire. It was bleak. So someone introduced me to LifeForce in a similar situation that you're in right now, and a light bulb went on, and I went, oh my goodness, this is our answer. And now, 5 years, almost 6 years later, my husband, who's a pharmacist, was very skeptical, does this with me full time, and we're now looking for our winter home in Central America. We don't know which country yet, so we get to go to all these countries, and we say we're country shopping. Because I don't like winter either. So that's the kind of recovery that is possible with this business. And so I just, you know, every minute of almost 6 years has been extraordinary, and I just wouldn't have traded it for anything. So now our future is so bright that we can hardly stand it. So thank you.
Well, there you have it, folks. There you have it. So you know what we do, you know how we do it, and by this point, I think you know whether this is something that interests you. I mentioned earlier that you'd probably be in one of 3 places at this point, right? You might say, good, but not for me. Thanks, but no thanks. And we thank you. Thanks for coming and taking a look. Little information's a good thing, right? Or you may be in a place to say, wow, those products sound great. More energy? Sounds good. Sleep better? Sounds good. Lose some weight? Feel more vibrant? Better immune system? Better mental clarity? Better memory? Wow, what's not to like? Yeah, I want those benefits. I want them for myself and my family, and as I said earlier, we'll help you get those benefits. You'll have your own personal wellness coach that will help you maximize your investment in your own health. And you may also be in this last place, the place of products sound great, but that business, wow, the chance to have residual income, money that comes in whether I'm working or not, to be able to live where I want, to be able to country shop, to be able to have time freedom, the time to enjoy money, to be able to do work that I love, that makes a difference for people, and to work with people I love, people I respect. Wow, that sounds good. I don't know everything I need to know. As a matter of fact, I don't even know enough to say yes, but I know I want that. And if that's where you're at, we're going to encourage you not to think of this like, gee, I got to make a lifetime commitment right now, because that's not even appropriate. We're not looking for that. I liken this to test driving a car. You know, if I go on a car lot and I see a nice shiny car, wow, that looks good. I'd like to have that. I want that, but you know what? I need to test drive it first. I need to make sure it runs as good as it looks. So get in the car, encourage you to turn the key and drive. And if you get a green light, wow, keep going. This feels pretty good. If you get a green light, keep going. This feels good. If you get a yellow light, slow down. And if you get a red light, you know, this probably isn't for you. Probably isn't for you. So we're not looking for you to, again, make a lifetime commitment. We're looking for you to take a test drive, if this is up for you. And what does that look like in our business? Well, number one, of course, you'd probably want to try the product, wouldn't you? You want to get some in your body. See, you can hear us talk about how great it is, but if it doesn't work for you, who cares? So test drive the product. The company has a 90-day empty bottle guarantee. In other words, you can drink as much Body Balance as you can order for 90 days. And at the 89th or 90th day, you can call up and say, yeah, not for me. They're going to say, sir, ma'am, where do you want us to send your refund check? So you have nothing to risk here except maybe giving up losing sleep, giving up poor memory, giving up lack of energy, ailments, and all that stuff. Test drive the business. Try it like we did. Share it with a few people and see if they order, does the company actually send me a thank you check? And if they reorder, do I keep getting these thank you checks? And if they tell people, do I get thank you checks from their orders as well? And if that starts working for you, you may go, wow, these look like green lights to me. I think I'll just put the pedal to the metal and make some serious income here, which is what we did. So whatever the case, wherever you're at, again, we thank you for your time. Thank you for your investment of time. And I want to leave you with a thought. You know, in my life, maybe your life too, maybe once or twice in a lifetime, I get a really, really, really good opportunity. And I encourage you to grab it. If this appeals to you, grab it with both hands, folks, because out there in that world, it is not looking good. People are at risk or have lost their jobs. People are at risk or have lost their homes. They've lost their retirements. They've lost their future. They've lost their hope. They've lost their dreams. And there is no end in sight. This thing could go on for another 5 or 10 years, like the last depression. But like the last depression, the foundations of great wealth were laid. There were winners and losers in the last depression. You know, it wasn't like some big vacuum cleaner came and sucked all the money out of the world. The money's still there. It just changed pockets. It just changed pockets. And people who had the old strategies in the last depression, they were bankrupt. They were in food lines. The people who had the winning strategies in the last depression, they got lives they loved. And it's no different today. We've given you a strategy, you have the vehicle, you have the opportunity. Don't let this pass you by. If it appeals to you, I urge you to take action. And that action looks like get with the person who brought you here and ask them, how do I test drive this thing? Show me how to do it. So I want to thank you on behalf of Life Force International, all the leadership, the Homans. I want to thank you for your time and wish you all the success that you deserve. Thank you.
Wow, right? If you weren't excited then, before, now you are. Thanks, Billy. So what we're going to do now is y'all might be thinking, well, gosh, how could I do this, right? So we've got this fun little exercise. And we've got some great leaders that are from locally here in Boulder, another husband and wife team, Robin Temple, Michael Moore. Come on up.
And the mics. Ooh, this is exciting. So we've experienced some of the benefits that you've heard about. We've been in Life Force about 10 years, working mostly